One of the very first and maybe most important skills you learn in programming is just getting your code to talk back to you. So today, we're going to break down Python's print function. This is the command that lets you see exactly what your programs are thinking every single step of the way.
I mean, really think about that for a second. You can write all this amazing code, but how do you actually see the result? How does a program say hello or tell you the answer to a tough math problem? This is the fundamental thing we need to solve.
And in Python, the answer is this beautifully simple but incredibly powerful command, print parentheses. Seriously, think of this as your program's voice. It's how you get information out, check on what your variables are doing, and just see your results pop up right on the screen.
Okay, let's start at square one, the absolute basics. Imagine we have a variable, we'll call it x, and we store the sentence, Python is awesome, inside it. It's kind of like putting a note inside a box. When we say print x, Python doesn't just show us the box. It actually opens it up and reads the note inside out loud. Simple, right? Clean, and it just works. Okay, that's easy for one variable. But let's be real. Our programs are usually juggling a whole bunch of things at once. What if you've got, say, a first name, a last name, and an age, all in different variables? How do you get them to print out together on one nice clean line? Well, it turns out Python gives us two main ways to handle this. We can either separate our variables with a comma, or we can use a plus sign to stick them together. Now, they might look pretty similar at first glance, but trust me, they act very differently. And understanding that difference, well, that's the whole game. First up, let's talk about the comma. Here we've got three different variables, each holding one word. When we tell Python to print them with commas in between, look what happens. It prints each word and, this is the cool part, it automatically puts a space in between them for us. It's just neat, simple, and does exactly what you'd expect. All right, now for method two, the plus operator. When you use a plus sign with text, or what we call strings, it doesn't do math. It does something called concatenation, which is just a fancy word for gluing things together. We're literally taking the string Python and gluing it to is, and then gluing that to awesome, making one big string before it gets printed. And this brings us to the most important difference. See, the plus operator gives you total control, but that also means you're responsible for everything. You have to manually add the spaces inside your strings. If you forget, Python will just mash all the words together into a big, unreadable mess. So this brings up a really fascinating point about the plus sign. It's kind of like a chameleon in Python. Its job completely changes depending on the type of stuff you give it. For instance, if you give the plus operator two numbers, it does exactly what you learned in first grade. It adds them. 5 plus 10 gives us 15. No magic, no surprises there. It's just a math operator. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. We know the plus sign glues text together, and we know it adds numbers. So what on earth happens if we try to mix them? Let's set up a little experiment. We've got a number, 5, and we've got a string, John. Let's try to add them together.
So take a second. What do you think Python should do here? Should it try to do math? Should it try to glue them together? What's the logical move?
And boom, it crashes. We get a big, scary type error. Python is basically just throwing its hands up in the air and saying, whoa, hold on, I have no idea what you want me to do. You've given me a number and a word, and I can't add them. Let's break down why it gets so confused. Python's rules are super clear. String plus string, glue them together. Number plus number, add them up. But a number plus a string, the instructions are conflicting. There's no clear rule. So instead of guessing and maybe giving you a weird result, Python just stops and tells you there's a problem. And this whole experiment leads us to the golden rule, the big takeaway. If you want to avoid this common trap, especially when you're not sure if you'll be mixing numbers and text, the absolute best and safest way to go is to just use commas. So check this out. We take the exact same variables that just crashed our program, the number 5 and the string John, but this time we use a comma, and it works perfectly, no error. It just prints the 5, adds a space automatically, and then prints John. It handles the different types like a champ. So let's just recap why commas are basically your best friend for printing. They handle all the spacing for you, they really don't care if you're mixing up numbers and words, and most importantly, they help you dodge that nasty type error we just ran into.
All right, you've seen the difference between the two, you've seen the error, you've seen the solution. Let's do a quick little quiz right now to make sure this all really clicked.
Here is the code. We're doing print, and inside we have the string hello, a comma, and the string world. What is going to show up on the screen?
So, what do you think? Is it going to be hello world with a comma and a space? Maybe hello world with just a space? Or are they going to be squished together like hello world? Lock in your answer.
And the correct answer is hello world. Remember, the job of that comma inside the print function is just to separate the items. As a bonus, it inserts a single space for you in the output, not another comma. Awesome job if you got that one right.
So if you only remember one thing from all of this today, let it be this. When you're printing multiple things in Python and you're in any doubt at all, just use commas. It's the versatile, safe, and usually the easiest way to get the job done right. And that's it. You now have the power to make your programs talk back to you, to show you results, to say hello, to help you figure out what's going wrong. So the only question left is, what's the very first thing you're going to make your code say?